Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Washington State head baseball coach Brian Green joins us to preview and talk about the upcoming weekend against number 8 Oregon are coming to Bailey Brayton. So if you have questions for Coach Green, please raise your hand. Coach, first question is going to be Jamie Vinnick from Kook Fan. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, Coach. You guys got a big series this weekend against Oregon. They're obviously one of the best teams in the pack. They've only lost a single series this year. How do you prepare for a team that has been so dominant across the board in the Pac-12?
Well, we'll prepare the way we always prepare, Jamie, and good to hear from you. Oregon's, they'll pose a great challenge. Their deal is pitching and defense. They're doing a great job. Waz is doing just a great job, clearly, with what they're doing. They're old, they're experienced, they're playing with a lot of confidence, but they're pitching really well on the weekends, and they're playing really good defense and scoring enough. But it's going to be a tough challenge for us. We're going to have to just match their pitching, because if you look at their numbers just in terms of batting average against, strikeout to walk, they clearly have stuff. We know their pitching coach back from New Mexico State, Jake, did a great job. So, for us, it's going to come down to the basics, a two-strike approach at the plate, not missing those early count opportunities of fastballs that we're going to get, because you're not going to get 2 or 3 of them. And then for us, really matching them defensively and not making mistakes, free bases, and hoping that we can match what we did against Cal. The thing that we like about it is the fact that we're here with their pitching, and as good as it is, Jamie, we like the fact that we're playing at home because our park tends to be a little more offensive. So hopefully that'll give us a little bit of an advantage from us on our end. But we're going to have to be tough, disciplined, and detailed, and get after it and continue to get better the way we are.
On your side of the pitching, obviously, I'd assume, and Zane and Brandon, the usuals Friday, Saturday. Is the plan to go back to Dakota on Sunday?
Jamie, probably, our plan is just, we have really 5 guys that we really can count on right now. And I think everybody knows that. It's what it is. Grant Taylor was a great addition for him to give him an expanded role this weekend. We've been going to Tyler a lot, and he's not scared. And same thing with Kometko. But, at the end of the day, we're getting about real good production out of about 5-6 guys. So Hawk's just a swing guy. He could be in the bullpen Friday and Saturday, and then depending on what he does, he could go on Sunday, and maybe it's Taylor. We really just don't know, but we do know that Brandon and Zane are going, and we're going to do everything we can to win a series and to get to that 500 mark in conference play, which is such a big step for the program. So that's where we are. But yeah, I think if you don't see Hawkins, clearly he's going to be on Sunday, but we'll anticipate using him. He's been one of our MVPs.
Talk about Grant a little. He came in a couple times against Cal and really had the good 2 1/3 innings of relief on, I think it was Sunday. Just talk about kind of what he has. I know the broadcasters were actually really praising him and some of the stuff he had, and just how he's kind of come along this season.
Yeah, Grant's he's got good stuff, and he's poised and he's mature on the field, and we wanted to make sure that he was matching that in everything that he's doing, because his progress has been like this, kind of slow, and we've always really hoped. If you look back at Grant, even back to last year, for the most part, when he's gotten opportunities to pitch, he's been pretty good. But he's been, he's just been solid. He comes in with a fastball. He looks like a 40-year-old on the mound. It's a full-time beard. It's a legit beard, something that I can't even come close to. But it's fastball, and it's breaking ball, and it's change, and it's poise, and it's a cool story to watch what he's done, because I think he's waited and wanted and waited and wanted. And when he got his opportunity, he went in fearless, and he's pounded the zone. So what he's done in the last 2 weeks in conference play is awesome, and it's inspiring. And we love to use those types of stories for our guys that, hey, if you just stay ready and you're confident and you go in and you throw strikes and you can command it, we're going to throw you. And if you go in fearless, we're going to throw you. And his role has completely changed in the last month. So great story, and happy for him.
Colin Montez is in a bit of a slump right now. I think he's 6 of his last 33, maybe. Have you seen something in his approach that's changed, or is it just some bad luck at the plate?
Yeah, he had the loudest 1 for 11 at Cal. Colin's awesome, and he's got such a pro mentality, and we love hanging around him, love being around him. He shows up every day, and the series is over at Cal, and we win the series, we're pumped, and I said, geez, Montez, brutal series, man, 1 for 11. Could you even mix in a barrel? And literally, I think he had 8 quality at bats at Cal, and he lined out like 5-6 times. I mean, it was one of the louder 1-for-11s in a weekend with a couple of walks that we had seen. So he's still having quality at bats. He's just, I mean, he hammered one last night too. You know, the things are getting caught for him right now, but good thing for Colin is his approach is good. You know, he even said, hey, if I'm going to line out 8 times in a weekend, then that's fine. I know I'll get paid. That's a mature approach. And so he's not getting paid right now at all statistically, but he's still swinging the bat pretty good.
Is the goal for Michael Newsham's arm to fall off by the end of the season?
It is. Yeah. No, we hope by the end of the year that he only has a right arm. But what a great story. I mean, Newsham has got him looking at it. He's got, I mean, just in terms of his appearances, he's got 23 appearances. And he's a rubber arm, and he tells us he can throw every day, and he can. I mean, the guy's a stud. You know, he comes in and he gives you everything he has every day. So no, it's a good story. A really cool story too, because Mikey was up here and he wasn't getting people out, and him and Clyde got together and said, what are we going to do to be successful here? And we said, well, we got to drop you down. So we dropped him down, and the next thing you know, he's an absolute specialist, and now he's even going 2-3 innings at a time. So another cool story of somebody trying to figure out a way to be successful. And Mikey's obviously had a huge role for us this year.
Excuse me. Last question. You guys are kind of gone with the closer by committee role. You've had, 5, 6, 7 guys with a save. Do you kind of see a guy that is maybe could be a closer down the line, or is that just you not really have a feel of who may be the closer 2-3 years from now?
Yeah, that's a great question. We don't really have it yet. You know, we had hoped Owen, and he's been kind of in and out. You know, a lot of it has just been about command. You know, I mean, Taylor, maybe if his velocity pumps up a little bit more, you know, because he throws a lot of strikes. Kametko, same thing. He's got a really good breaking ball, but, you know, it's kind of a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Kind of the same thing with Haft moving forward. But no, that's something that we just have to improve at. You know, everybody in this league, if you're at the top of the league, has got a shutdown closer. And, you know, even going back to Cal, if we were chasing late against Cal, it's going to be really hard to score. You know, those guys come in 94-6 and they're throwing sliders and change ups and everything's exploding. And so that's something that we have to improve on in the recruiting process, which is why it's been by committee. You know, but right now we just need to see better command, better stuff. And it's going to remain a committee thing until we can really plug that hole in the recruiting process.
Great. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck this week.
Hey, thanks, Jamie.
All right, Coach, next one's going to be from Scott Hood. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, Scott. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm sorry I missed last week, but I was getting my vaccination last week. So.
Oh, good for you. Congrats.
Yeah, that was my second one. You guys have won, regardless of the outcome of last night's game, you guys have won 2 of your last 3 Pac-12 series. So is it fair to say that you're going into this series against Oregon with a little bit of momentum?
Yeah, I think it's totally fair to say. I think, Scott, even if you look at just the progression of us in league, you know, there's been a really good day or two in conference. And obviously it's a great league and everybody can always win a game and it's always tight and the game is always really close in the 7th or 8th inning. But, you know, for us progressively, if you look at Arizona, we score 35 runs at home. We get Utah the week prior at a pitcher's park. We get Cal the week after at a pitcher's park. We're getting better. And so, you know, I think we're second in the league in hitting. Zane and Brandon are starting to pound the zone a little bit in terms of strikes. Here's Grant Taylor. Now we're at 5, maybe 6 guys that we can count on to come in and pound the zone. So, yeah, I mean, we're coming in with some confidence. Clearly, we know that when we looked at this week, you know, Gonzaga, Arizona, Gonzaga, Oregon, those were like legitimate 4-game weeks. It's like, okay, boys, it's on. But we're going in with a lot of confidence and we're at home and that's exciting. You know, hopefully we can have some fans here. There were a bunch of Gonzaga last night. So that was good to see, at least in the region, it's starting to open up and hopefully we can someday get back to normalcy here. But we're going in with a lot of confidence and we're confident because we're getting better. And that's the exciting part for our program. We still have a winning record. We're still in the hunt for a 500 record in conference play. And, you know, those are 2 big objectives for the program, just in terms of growth moving forward, getting better and getting back to where we want the program to be.
You say you have 5 or 6 pitchers that you can rely on the weekends. What is the ideal number in your mind on that?
8. I mean, just, like 8's kind of minimum, that gives you've got 3 legitimate starters. Obviously we have 2 and we do have a third, but he's a swing guy for us. But, I think if you can have 8 guys that you can count on, that typically is kind of the sweet spot. If you look at conference baseball, just in the past, if you have a really solid 8 guys that you can count on to come in, throw strikes, not be scared, can dump a breaking ball in, can locate a change and get an out with a change. It's not just a swing and miss pitch. I think those are the things that you look at that we're trying to plug in the recruiting process, that we're trying to plug right now in the teaching process of just trying to get that number up, and Grant was a great addition, and we've had signs, throughout the entire year, but we're just trying to find more consistency on the mound with location, with command. And I know Clags is grinding and we're all grinding and we just want to get better, but 8's the number for me and for us, Scott.
Because of the scholarship limitations that you guys have to deal with, I mean, how difficult is that to go from 5 or 6 to 8? I mean, I assume it's not as easy as it may sound.
No, it's not. And everybody's working and I mean, everybody's recruiting and everybody's recruiting hard. So it really comes down to being able to teach, develop, coach. And then also, walk-ons are critical, doing a really good job. And that's one of the things that we talk about here with us in terms of the recruit and development piece of one of our 3 pillars, is that the walk-on recruiting is critical for any program, but it's essential here in Pullman. There's probably an opportunity for us when you get back to the 25% rule scholarship wise that we might not fill up our slots. We may have 2 or 3 scholarship slots available because we're giving guys more money to beat people in the process. So walk-ons become critical and they always will be, but yeah, I think you're right. That certainly is a valid statement that it can be a real challenge.
I asked you this question a couple weeks ago, and I'll ask it again. You said you may be a couple weeks away. Have you found out an opponent for that May 21 to 23 series at home yet?
So no, but yes, we have literally we're in conversation with 3. And again, we will lock that thing in after this weekend, just in terms of us knowing exactly what, how, and who we need to do with that. But we'll have that thing locked in next week. Yeah. There's Scott, it's crazy with COVID.
Yeah.
Literally when you open up your Monday email from coaches across the country, it is, we need a weekend. We need a weekend. We need a weekend. Just lost this. It's crazy. So, I know it sounds strange that we still have an open weekend, like 3 weekends out,
Right. Yeah.
but literally you have a choice of about 10 teams on every Monday with COVID things. So it's just a very different year. So we're really holding tight on that. We want to see how the Oregon weekend goes for us.
I was hoping you'd bring in New Mexico's and straight Birmingham's retiring.
No, yeah, I saw plenty of Coach Birmingham's teams. They can swing, so we'll leave them be in Albuquerque.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Our last chance for questions for Coach Green. All right, that's it for today, Coach. Good luck this weekend against Oregon. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Go Cougs.
Thank you.